Welcome back, Money Circle community. I hope you guys are having an awesome start to your 2025 so far. I wanted to hit you guys with the latest update of going from $5 in the stock market to $1,000 as fast as I possibly can. And we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that I've been up against over the past week. But I'll just start by telling you guys, this is going to be harder than I thought. There are things that are happening that are good. There's things that are happening that are not so good. And then there's things that are happening that are unexpected. And so this has been quite the fun and interesting challenge. And I'm definitely excited to get there, but it's going to take some work for sure. So to catch you guys up, I have been updating this on my Instagram. So if you're curious to know how it's going on a day-by-day basis, go follow me on Instagram and you'll see the link in the description below. And then make sure that you subscribe to this page as well if you like the long form stuff. So where we left off was I transferred money, or I bought, I should say, in Meta. And the reason why was this is when TikTok was facing the TikTok ban. So my thought process was, if I move this into Meta and TikTok does in fact get banned, more than likely the users from TikTok are going to move over to Meta. So I'll catch an early bump and at least it's a safe play. That was kind of the thought process behind it. So I was in Meta and Monday came, and just as quick as TikTok was banned, TikTok was unbanned. So I moved away from Meta. Originally, I transferred the $6.44 that I was up at that time. I transferred that into a company I'd recently heard about. It was called Big Bear. You'll see it here. And because we have a new president in Trump, he's starting to invest a lot more into AI. And so I was given a tip that Big Bear might see some pretty solid gains, especially now that we have a new president. So I transferred that entire $6.44 into Big Bear. And let's just say that the eager beaver was the collapse of the dam, because yes, BBAI is going to be a good play, but it certainly wasn't a good play for the first couple of days that Trump was in office. So I actually bought into BBAI at $6.44, and I sold the entire position at $5.76 because, well, I'm trying to get to $1,000 as fast as possible, and although I don't like selling at a loss, sometimes you just got to cut your losses. So I sold BBAI, and I then put that into D-Wave because AI was down, and this was over the course of a couple days, mind you. AI was down because of a lot of things actually, but it's been pretty volatile. There's been a lot of news moving about it. So I figured, you know what? Since it's down so much, let me catch a quick upswing on it. So I went from Facebook, Meta, to BBAI, to D-Wave. So I bought D-Wave at $5.76 because I'm expecting at least a short-term bump as people kind of FOMO back in to quantum and not wanting to miss it. And it continued to go down again. So my first two trades of the week did not start good. I started at $6.44, then bought into BBAI. It went down to $5.76. Then I bought D-Wave, and that went down to $5.41. So I actually was down $1 to start the week. And then good things started to happen. So let's talk about those good things. So now I'm in this position in D-Wave, and it's a losing position, and my $5.76 is now $5.41. So I'm down about $1.03 to start the week. And so I'm thinking to myself, clearly the trends that I've been following are not working right now. So I need to try something different. And then I found this magical tool on Robinhood, and I'm going to preface this before I tell you what I did. I'm going to preface you by saying this was very risky, what I was doing right now. So I don't strongly recommend it, and it actually is causing some interesting warnings on my trading account. So what I did was I realized, okay, I have to make up this dollar, right? I don't want to basically be back down to $5. So I need to try to get into trades that are gaining huge amounts in a short period of time. So Robinhood has this feature that if you start to search for a specific ticker or stock, you could actually pull up the biggest daily jumps. So it'll show you, here's the companies that are moving the quickest pre-market and during the day. So I found this search, I guess you could say, tool, and I'm noticing that these aren't just one or two companies that are moving. These are companies that there's dozens of them, and they're moving anywhere from 50% to, I saw one that was moving at 1,400%. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, clearly there's news about these companies that I'm not sure about, and that's okay. I'm just interested in taking advantage of the returns that these are getting. So that's why I'm saying it's risky. You always want to do your research before you're investing in a stock, especially as you start to get up to the $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 range. You really want to start doing your research, because these are stocks that can go either way at any time. But because I'm playing with so little money, I'm thinking, let's just try this new strategy out and see what happens. And it went really, really well. So I sold D-Wave at $5.41. And then I bought this company here. It was Canoo. Now, Canoo, when I looked at the chart, it was already up about 60% pre-market. And the chart was looking really, really good. So I figured that I might as well try this. And I mean, worst case scenario, I'll go back down to the $5. And if I'm a little bit under, no big deal. We'll just have to rebuild from there. So I put the $5.41 into Canoo, and that rapidly turned. I gained from $5.41. You have to buy whole shares in these companies, mind you. So I wasn't able to just put the full $5.41 into it. I had to buy full shares. So I bought a couple of shares at $5.05, and that $5.05 built itself to $5.62. So on that trade, I gained about 57 cents. So I gained back about half of what I lost to start the week. I want to caveat real quick and say, if you choose to play this strategy of doing the fastest movers, wait. A lot of times in pre-market, just because it's up in pre-market 30 or 40% does not mean it'll continue like that. So what I was doing when I was playing these is I was waiting about 30 minutes to an hour to see if the rallies would continue. Now, of course, I'm sacrificing gains at that time, but that's okay, because if I'm still gaining 20, 30, 40, 50% on a trade, that's really good. So I stuck into the Canoo trade until the end of the day, which again, I was at $5.62 for the trade. Now, after everything, when I sold the trade during the day too, because I don't want to hold on to this. I don't know if it's going to reverse or not. I don't have a lot of information on the company. So I sold at $5.62 total for the shares that I did buy. So that gave me $5.98 moving into, I believe it was either Wednesday or Thursday. Now, so at this point, I'm sitting at $5.98. I'm just keeping it in the brokerage account. And the reason why is because my account now has, I believe at the time it was 2 or 3 warnings, because I have my account set up as a long-term trader. So when I'm starting to day trade, it's flagging my account saying, hey, you don't have this account structured properly. If you get 5 of these warnings, we're going to disable your trades. So basically, I'd still be able to trade, but not nearly as much and as quickly as I am right now. So I have to take a step back from trading every single day to spreading it out over the course of 2 or 3 days. So when I sold on Wednesday, it was either Wednesday or Thursday, I just kept that $5.98 in the brokerage account and just didn't touch it, because after like a week or two, those warnings start to fall off. So going into Monday, my plan was to just kind of wait and see how the markets do, and I'm kind of glad I did. And the reason why is because on Monday, a new version of ChatGPT, China's version of ChatGPT, came out called DeepSeek. And this caused a big market loss across all industries. And the reason why is because what they were able to do, China, with DeepSeek, with the information we had on Monday, basically was pointing toward the fact that all the AI stocks were overbought and we were spending way too much on it, and our technology just wasn't as advanced as China's. So it caused a lot of negative market sentiment. So big sell-off on Monday. Actually, to give you guys an idea, NVIDIA lost 500 and I believe it was 80 or 590 billion dollars worth of market cap in one day, which is ridiculous. That's like 20% of their entire company value. But anyways, so I'm glad I sat out because I wasn't sure how Monday was going to play out, and I couldn't imagine having that money in my trading account for this challenge and then losing 20%. That would have totally wiped out everything I was doing. So timing was immaculate on that. Now, what I decided to do was wait and see what was going to happen going into Tuesday, to see how much the market actually recovers, because we still didn't have a lot of good news going into Tuesday. So I just kept the money in the brokerage account. And then Tuesday came, and instead of playing the rebound of AI and quantum, and because I had a feeling it was going to rebound, but I just didn't know how much. Instead of playing that, what I decided to do was I'm going to keep trying my hand at these daily movers. So I found this company here, Selexian. And I was doing some market research on Selexian, and I had, again, very little information, but the information I did have was very good based on previous knowledge I already had about the healthcare industry, therapeutics, and its convergence with AI. So it was kind of riding three different trends at one time. And I noticed that at pre-market, this thing was crushing it. It was up like 40 or 50%, and the charts looked ridiculous. So I played this trade, and mind you, because it is in the daily movers, I have to buy shares. I can't do fractions of a share or fractional shares. So I was at $5.91 after my sell of Rigetti, and I bought $4.56 worth of Selexian, which I believe was 11 shares or something along those lines. And that was at $4.56. That same day I sold the trade, and it went up, you can see, a crazy amount. And I sold the trade at $5.78. So excellent trade there. I recovered basically everything at that point that I started with at the beginning of the week. Now, because I'm having success with this daily movers thing, I'm in the process of, I want to say, tiptoeing a very fine line of doing daily movers, but being careful about the ones I choose, but also not doing them too often because I don't want to lose the account. So I sold my position in SLXN, and I just, again, kept that money in the account and just waited a couple of days. And then Thursday came, and I saw this trade here. This is TCTM. Again, no information on this company. I just saw how much it was moving. It was the fastest mover of the day on Thursday. That's not always how I'm choosing them. It's just based on what they do. This is an education company, and they specialize in tech and AI for education. So a lot of good market sentiment around that as well. I bought this trade here. Again, didn't put everything into it. Just put, I think I bought 3 or 4 shares of this. And the total price was $1.89. And I sold that same day at $2.09. And as of recording right now, I'm not in any sort of trades. I just have that money sitting there. So from the last update to now, we started at $6.44. Currently, we're sitting at $7.36. So I would say, given the way we started this week, it ended really strong. So moving forward, I'm going to have to, again, keep kind of following the same trend of not trading as much as I was at the start of this challenge, but also taking advantage of big gain trades in order to cut the time frame down of getting to the $1,000. Now, I don't feel like I'm going to make any sort of changes to the challenge right now. As I said, if this takes longer than I originally anticipated, like if I'm not on track, or I don't know, there's something that happens that I lose a lot of the money, which it could happen at any time, then I might have to change up the strategy. But right now, I'm pretty happy with where we're at. Right now, we're on pace to do this in the time frame that I originally wanted, which is 6 months to a year. I'm going to try to accelerate that and try to get it done a lot sooner than that. But again, mind you, I'm playing very risky, volatile stocks right now. And tell me if you guys like how much I'm updating you right now. I know I'm doing a lot of trades, and it can be hard to kind of track all of them. It took me 10 to 15 minutes just to get all the data I needed on these trades and then research, okay, what did I do on this day and why did I do it, like that type of deal. So there's a lot of research that goes into just making this video. So if it's too much information, let me know, I can cut it back. But other than that, again, as it sits right now, I'm not in any sort of positions. I have $7.36 sitting in the brokerage account, and we're going into Monday. And the news for Monday, I don't expect to be good because Trump's tariffs just were put into effect in China, Canada, and Mexico. So I don't expect the market to respond positively on Monday. So it'll probably sit there at least for Monday and potentially Tuesday, but that's going to help the account too because I am on, I believe, my third warning. And if I wait until the fourth, some of those warnings should drop off. So I'll probably wait for that before I enter my next trade. So that's where we're at right now. If you guys do enjoy this content and you want to see more, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I appreciate you guys tracking this journey. And again, moving over and helping me grow this longer form content. This is new to me. It's kind of weird, but it's also kind of fun at the same time because I'm trying new things and I'm learning a lot about myself. But you guys have been a huge motivating factor to me taking this long form route. So shout out to you guys as well. Again, click the link down below to become part of the Money Circle community, not only here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and TikTok as well. You guys are amazing. Have an awesome rest of your day.